So this is my listening analysis to Radiohead's song "Everything in Its Right Place" from the album Kid A. It's a very, very, very cool song. It's incredibly experimental and was really, a new wave of music for Radiohead. So I very, very much enjoy it. Listening to it, it's got very, very unique sounds. So first off, it's in 10/4. So 10/4 is it's a time 10/4 is a time signature which is not very commonly used. Normally, if you're making music in a certain anything 4, you'll have it in a multiple of 4. So you'd have 2/4, 4/4, you can have 8/4, 6/4, but generally speaking, you'll have a 4/4 because the general 4/4 pulse is what we've all learned. So when they've switched this to 10/4, it kind of builds up like a tension and release kind of thing by kind of being because it's not 5 beats and 5 beats. So it's not 5/4, and it's not 4/4/2. It's completely different. It is 10/4. And essentially what it does, which causes like a delayed gratification because you're expecting the that movement to finish 2 beats earlier than it does. And then because it doesn't, it's kind of leading on, and it's a nice. It's why 5/4 is also used. It's kind of a consistent pulse, leading, and which messes with our minds because we're also used to working in 4/4, or generally 4/4 is the standard for most pop music and most music, which is why this is such a unique example, especially. Well, especially it's Radiohead. They always do crazy stuff like that. They're always experimenting and pushing boundaries. So to try and figure out the sound of the synth, actually, there's a Reddit post here, which references in an ebook by Mitchell Sigmund. No, I don't think it's by him, but there is an ebook available online called "Steal the Sound" by Mitchell Sigmund, written in 2011. It's essentially a keyboard magazine to give people the sounds and presets and give them that ability to reach more music and play more music. But this does a very cool, very thorough. I can't really go through it because I would be here for about 3 hours, but I will link it in the blog and it will be very cool. So yeah, one of the rare things I felt is that it's a polyphonic synth, but it doesn't really sound like it sounds like a Rhodes. That's kind of the idea of the Rhodes. And really what it is yeah, it's a polysynth, supposedly a Prophet 5, but from what's being said is that it's now the Prophet 8 in live performances, which is unique. So yeah, you only actually have one oscillator for this part, generally speaking, and it's just it's a pulse wave, which is that asymmetrical wave, or it can be asymmetrical. It's it's a pulse wave, and that's quite, which explains why it's like that kind of that sound in the Radiohead at the start of the song. That's what you hear. Yeah, it's a very cool preset. Oh, sorry, not preset. It's a very cool sound. I think the problem I'd have with making this is making it sound like Radiohead, because while the synths and all the instruments and all the parts of the song are quite already quite experimental, quite unique. It's the mixing of it. So it's a very big, wide, in your face mix. So that's normally a nice big warm compressor. And I know for the production of Radiohead they used this really specific compressor, and I think it's like the gold standard, industry standard. Like the Beatles were using them, Abbey Road uses. It's an incredibly popular speaker compressor, and I think it's been used on this track. It just warms it up, brings it right into your face. But then for the width, what this person says they've done is sending it to a 7 channel and doubling it, or a chorus effect. They say that you could technically have 2 oscillators. Sorry, no, that is not actually. So the chorus effect is to make it sound more like a Rhodes, but it was actually meant to be a spreader. Just they said they've used the just basic Logic spreader, but just anything that widens that stereo image. Probably on a send as well, because then you've got that initial and then it's width as well. that's how you get that kind of sound. Um, Overall, I feel like this song really like challenges your listening. Not because it's a bad song, not because it doesn't make you want to listen to it, but because of how much is going on and how much you're expecting and how much you're thinking with this song. Because it's a very cerebral song. You can very much gives off the vibes of something terrible happening, or I think it has been used. I'm gonna Google this. I think it's place used in movies. It was used in the trailer of Netflix's Three Body Problem, which was a sci-fi show that I watched a couple months ago. That's where I thought it was from. It's been used for many movies. Yeah, it's like lots of. It's a popular song. It was used in The Social Network as well. Wow. Um, yeah, I think the thing that most surprises me with um, this song is that it's not too complex. Like they haven't really done. I mean, they've obviously done enough processing and everything, but it all comes together to be a seemingly very simple and very basic track. Like, there's not crazy stuff happening all the time. It's not like Aphex Twin, like the Come Steady one that we were listening to in the lesson recently. It's a totally different vibe. It's much more atmospheric, which is But the thing is, Radiohead does do the crazy stuff, and they also do the quiet stuff. So very much listening to it, I was expecting there to be more in a sense. I was expecting it to be more like you know, but the song is incredible. Like I'm only saying this because I'm trying to think of things like to say. Like the song is genuinely incredible, but yeah, it's nice and it's not overdone. Is what I was trying to say. What I'm trying to say. It's been thoroughly developed and manipulated, but it's not. Um, to the general listener, it doesn't seem cluttered. It doesn't seem like they've tried too hard, which is I think what makes it so special, because it's such a powerful song and it's given. Yeah, it's such a powerful song, but it uses instruments and such mellow instruments. Um, it really, really brings forward the emotion. I've also wait. I've also linked another video of the deconstruction of this song onto this blog post. It's not really a production side song. Sorry, production side deconstruction analysis, but I've linked it here just to give you more information. I feel like it's good for more of a music theory side, so like the production of music and the ways that they've done things, but it doesn't cover any of the production techniques or instrumentation or anything like that. So one of the things with the synth in Everything in Its Right Place is that they have a very it's very hard to describe the envelope of the sound, the shape of the sound. So initially it's got quite a short attack, but it's not like a it's like it's like a almost envelopey, very soft, very subtle, like a rose, and then it does kind of sustain to quite a strong degree, but at the same time it is a pulse wave, so kind of you can hear in the song the pulse, and you can hear that the pulse isn't quite as loud as the initial note. It isn't quite as like you do have a bit of decay from the attack after the attack to that sustain. You're probably only sustaining, I don't know, 80% or something. But then the release is incredibly long. It's it's drawn out. It's the genre. It's having a long release on a synth creates those atmospheric sounds. It creates that sense of slowness and slowness. It creates that sense of slowness. It creates that sense of slowness and like atmospheric, like just tension because it's also in 10/4, which is a tension building time signature. It's a very unique time signature. When you have lots of synthesizers layering on top of each other or working around one another, each with quite long releases, you kind of create this texture of just it's all layered, but it kind of creates kind of almost, I want to say, drunk sound, because it's still moving after you've, notes off, and it's still moving quite a bit. But that is an effective technique to create that kind of tense, moving sound of it's still, it's pushing, it's giving that giving the song momentum, it's pushing it forwards.